Eclairs, yumminess. We're gonna get a little out there. The eclair I'm going to be showing you is an eclair filled with sweet corn pastry cream dipped in white chocolate with strawberries and pickled jalapeños. What? We're gonna start off by making the pastry part of our eclair with a half a cup of water straight away into a little saucepan and half a stick of butter. Oh, I'm also gonna add, just for fun, a little pinch of cinnamon, a little pinch of salt also. All right, you wanna melt this and you want it to come to a boil. A half a cup of flour, really stir it a lot. We wanna cook it until we see the butter kind of coming out on the surface, that it has a little bit of a sheen. All right, I think we're starting to achieve sheen. So now we transfer it immediately into our mixer. Give it a chance to cool down a little bit. All right, so we have 2 eggs, and we're not going to add the second one until the first one is fully combined. I'm just going to brush down the sides and really get everything redistributed. All right, so you see how it's kind of back to crumbly? All right, so now our next egg. All right, we're gonna stop. We're gonna push down the sides. And you wanna let it go till it comes back to a smooth mixture. All right, now test to see if your dough is the perfect consistency. Hold your spatula up like this. You wanna see it come off in a smooth stream, and right now it just plops. So I need a little bit more liquid. Now I think if I add another entire egg, that's gonna be too much. And I'm just gonna add about half that. There we go, and you feel it, it stretches down. And it looks much more elastic, doesn't it? So now you have a pastry bag, put a tip on this, really push it down in there. Make a big cup over your hand, all right? And we're gonna take this, we get it right in there, and then you squeeze, we slide everything down, and then twist it and hold it shut. So I have a little bit of this dough, and I'm putting this right in the corner of the tray, glues the parchment paper in place. You squeeze, stop, and pull away, all right? Now, we wanna make sure we leave plenty of room in between them, right? You don't wanna have one giant eclair when it comes out of the oven. Gentle pressure, squeeze, stop, pull away. These little tips here, we want to push those in. Just wet your finger so your finger won't stick. And there we go. Then into the oven, set at 450 degrees. So I'm going to be making pickled jalapeños, a tablespoon of salt, half a tablespoon of sugar, white vinegar, and then I'm gonna dilute that with a half a cup of water. So I'm just gonna shake this up to make sure my sugar and salt are dissolved. I'm going to slice these really, really thin, just to where I start to get to the seeds. I don't want the seeds for this. All right, guess what? I'm pickling. All right, so now let's think about the filling. I have 1 quart heavy cream. I have 8 eggs that I'm cracking just into a bowl. I have 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of sugar in my heavy cream. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and I'm going to BTB it, bring it to a boil. So as this is 15 minutes. All right, so I'm just gonna turn this down for a second because all of a sudden it will boil over. Look at that, right? So we're gonna turn the tray around. I'm gonna stew 5 minutes. There we go. Now I'm going to beat together my eggs and sugar pretty aggressively, and you wanna see it kind of get much thicker. So I have to combine my eggs into boiling cream without making scrambled eggs. And it's called tempering. Just before I do my tempering, because it's so exciting, I'm going to make a slurry. It's cornstarch mixed with some heavy cream, so you can pour it and whisk it in instead of just staying in one big, huge starch ball. All right, here we go. Half in, whisk it, get it combined, and then immediately everybody right back here. All right, so now it's gonna take a couple minutes to come back to a boil. Have patience, and you wanna keep making sure that nothing is sticking on the bottom. I have a water bath set up so I can get this chilled right away. These are really nicely done. It's pretty firm. All right, so Doing my corn, look at me, right in a bowl, so it catches all those kernels. But I'm also keeping one eye over here. But so look at what we've got, like starting to look like pudding, isn't it? I'm gonna strain it. So just keep working it through. And then right on the water bath, because we wanna get this cooled down real quick. I'm bouncing back to my corn, all right? So we wanna get all those yummy little pieces in a pan. Cream. I'm gonna give this a little teaspoon of vanilla too, just cause. And I just wanna cook this so it just kind of takes the raw off the corn. So come back and stir this every now and then to just redistribute it. So when we melt chocolate, it is about an inch or so of water in the bottom of it. I set a bowl right on top of it. So what happens is then the steam comes up and melts the chocolate ever so gently. I'm adding some coconut oil. So look at my corn. I mean, I'm cooking most of the cream out, all right? And then I'm gonna puree it. All right. So I want it to be a little bit smoother, so how about I add like a little bit of my pastry cream to that to help it. All right, nice. I'm gonna stir in a bunch more of this. So I'm gonna put my corn pastry cream in a pastry bag with a pretty small-ish tip. And there we go. Now my chocolate's just finishing to melt, and now I'm just gonna cut up a couple of strawberries really quick. So I'm cutting the green part off. We have our eclairs, so I'm just gonna put these right on the rack. I'm pulling this off the heat. So you wanna make a little hole so your tip can go right in there and fill it up. And you can kind of feel it happening. Once you start to feel it fill, don't keep, because if you have too much, you'll bite it and it's gonna go everywhere, okay? Now, my chocolate, do a slow pour. We get everybody coated. My jalapeno pickles. So I'm cutting these just into quarters. So I have these little things too. They're freeze-dried strawberries. I'm gonna lay one of the fresh ones on. I'm gonna lay a little bit of jalapeno on, and then we're gonna start over. And I'm gonna finish with a jalapeno so it's not just like a big fat surprise. So this is a little bit of a nutty kind of flavor profile, right?
This is really delicious.
And so pretty, right?
Beautiful.